Oh, welcome ladies and gents. So, just going to move my mic. HELLRAISER Reboot Remake, whatever you want to call it. It's a brand new film being released on Hulu. We had a teaser trailer drop the other day. I did a video on that, discussing that. I've covered this pretty extensively. I've covered test screening, reveals, multiple new Cenobites, loads and loads of stuff, right? It's been rated, R-rated, all this kind of stuff. And whenever I do a video about this, everyone always goes, but Doug Bradley's not playing Pinhead. And I go, yeah, I know. However, this is kind of closer to the novel, a little bit, because they've got a transgender actor, Jamie Clayton, so kind of closer, because no one quite knows what gender Pinhead is in the novella. And everyone goes, no Doug, no HELLRAISER. Well, anyway, Doug Bradley's actually come out and spoken about the new HELLRAISER. So I thought we'd cover it, because again, it just goes massively in line with what everyone always says, which is no Doug, no HELLRAISER. Although Clive Barker is attached to this, just as an FYI for those that weren't aware. He's attached to this. He has the rights back to HELLRAISER. He fully greenlit this. He was good to go on it. He got the rights back just prior to or just during the production, if I remember rightly. So he could have shelved this if he wanted to, but he didn't. He kept going with it. And he's probably the only reason it's being released on Hulu, because he has a working relationship with Hulu. But I digress. You came in here to listen to Doug Bradley. We're not going to play anything to Doug Bradley, because it's not that kind of video. Sadly, we don't have anything, but we have him coming in and just basically talking about it. So during this weekend's Silver Scream Con in Massachusetts, the legendary Doug Bradley was asked how he feels about Jamie Clayton playing a female take on Pinhead. So a lot of people would completely disregard his opinion on this anyway, because he's not being, he's not being nasty, basically. So I get that. I understand. This video is probably not for you, but it's interesting nonetheless. So Hulu recently announced the official premiere date for the highly anticipated HELLRAISER reboot, which will be hitting the streamer October 7th. There's a lot of excitement for the horror revival, but the fact that head Cenobite Pinhead is being played by a woman has been the main topic of discussion. Transgender woman. I think that's actually kind of important to point out. Like, this isn't from like a bigoted perspective. I think it actually goes more hand in hand with the book if you point out that Jamie Clayton is a transgender woman. Like, I think that's actually important, and it goes some way of servicing the story a little bit further, I think. I doubt they're going to lean into it, which is probably not, it renders my opinion on this a bit defunct in what I'm saying, but still, it's important to point out that transgender. Doug Bradley, who played the Hell Priest in the original movie and subsequent 8 movies, was asked how he feels about Jamie Clayton taking over his iconic role during an appearance at Silver Scream Con in Massachusetts over the weekend. So this is all via bloody disgusting. And he said, it seemed like a female Pinhead was coming. It's an interesting piece of casting. I mean, yeah, this is him reading the room going, yeah, of course they're going to do a female Pinhead. But also as well, there's a precedent for it. Anyway, FYI, because of the comic books, Kirsty Cotton becomes the Pinhead in the comic books, which I've covered extensively here on this channel. I have done hours of read-throughs, and I'll leave the playlist linked in the description box. Please do check it out. People loved and adored those readings, and I was really proud of them as well. I don't know Jamie, of course. They've taken... so this is interesting. I don't know Jamie. Of course, they've taken even a little bit of a wrinkle in that, because Jamie is transgender. Again, important, because he's like, well, female Pinhead's coming, but there's a little bit of a wrinkle in there, because Jamie's transgender. So it's like, maybe not. I'm not familiar with her recent work, but there was a science fiction series on Netflix several years ago called Sense8, which I was quite a fan of. Jamie was in that, and I really, really liked her performance in that. I really can't say any more than that. I do like to point out that I did wear a skirt as Pinhead, he adds, which is funny, because he did. Like, the clothing of the Cenobites was very all over the place. He does wear a skirt. Like, he legit does. Not there's any issue with that. Like, I think it goes, again, hand in hand with the androgyny of the Cenobites being these sort of sadomasochistic demons from hell, which was what they were, which was what the aesthetic was given to the costume designer to make. It's an interesting casting decision. Well, that only goes so far. We say female Pinhead, like we know what that means, but there are a million shades of femininity. Where exactly are they going to go with that? And this is true, right? Like, are they going to lean into her being, you know, a female Pinhead or a transgender Pinhead? We don't know. Like, are they going to have her tits hanging out? Again, we don't know. I know I'm speaking somewhat crass here whilst I'm discussing this, but I think it's important just to be upfront and blunt about it. We don't know which way they're going to go with this in how they're going to represent Jamie Clayton's femininity, or indeed if they are going to represent the masculinity. So it'll be interesting. Everything about Hellraiser has always been transgressive. Everything, always, from start to finish. It's not a new idea in that sense, but I'm intrigued. I'm in the same position as all the rest of you, I guess, to see where that goes. I am interested. I am genuinely interested. Massively so. And this was the interesting comment as well made by Bruckner. Bruckner is the director, did The Ritual, did The Night House, loved The Night House. That was actually from a... What is this? What is this crap? Bloody K-pop stars. Weird. Anyway, that absolutely threw me way off my video. In The Night House is a script, a movie developed from a Hellraiser script. But he says this: next year marks the 35th anniversary since Hellraiser first haunted our dreams. It's only fitting to come full circle in collaborating with Clive, the original creator and master of visionary horror. We look forward to working with our partners at Hulu and bringing this unique take on the original to new audiences. It's been such an honour to have Clive on board to help support and shepherd us through the incredible universe he created so long ago, combined with a fearless and committed cast, including the amazing Jamie Clayton, who fully embodies the role as the Hell Priest. We're aiming to create a very special new chapter in the Hellraiser legacy. So there seems to be a lot of love in this, and this is Jamie Clayton as, well, not as, she just posted it basically, demons to some, angels to others, and just holding the puzzle box. I really like the puzzle box that they have in this, actually. That design's really cool. And I will say this, like, from the leaks that I've had of all of this, like the plot leaks, they have an interesting take on the lament configuration and how it sort of, you know, opens up and the puzzle is solved. It's basically like each individual, there's like a phase, there's like a puzzle phase, there's multiple puzzles that get solved, kind of, and then at each phase a new Cenobite sort of pops up. It's like, hey, doesn't say hey, and it probably is like, hey, I'm going to cut you, or something like that. But anyway, there's Doug Bradley's opinion. What do you think? Chime in. Take care.